or for Throwback Thursday, whichever you prefer. So this one is such a weirdly, oddly specific one, and I, honest to God, couldn't tell you what the hell even reminded me of it. But here we are. I randomly remember, like, the stupidest, weirdest crap at the most random times possible. So, I was an 80s kid. I had one of those, was it Fisher Price or was it Play School? Like, the little yellow slide with the green ladder on it. Only about, like, 3 steps high up. I mean, it was, like, a little, like, only about, like, maybe this tall off the ground. Like, it's pretty small. Small enough to where I'd occasionally bring it in the house small. But I digress. So, I loved that stupid thing. Crawling all over it, walking up it, sliding down it. Like, just whatever, you know, just playing with it, as little kids do. And it typically lived outside, right on the cusp of where the patio meets the lawn. Like, the latter half would be sitting on the cement of the patio, and then the slide end of it would be landing on the lawn. For, you know, soft landing, made sense. So, I mean, that was fine and great and all, and I loved playing with it there, too, especially when the grass was longer there. Made for an extra cushy landing, really liked it then. However, playing on it all the damn time, it didn't take even a very small child very long to pretty much rip all the grass out of the ground at the bottom of the slide, just kind of rubbed it right off to flat dirt. My dad was not thrilled. It wasn't intentional. It kind of just happened. That's life. But, like, this normally wasn't a big freaking deal or anything. Until I suddenly got the idea in my head that just the slide alone isn't enough. Let's turn it into a water slide. And I would take the garden hose and I'd drag it all the way across the lawn, up and around the ladder to the top of the slide. Mind you, I'm like 3 years old at this point. And I flick the little thing on the end of the hose to turn it on. And I just let the water flow. And I kind of just stick it up at the top. I slide right down. Bam! Really, really fast because it's wet and land on the hard dirt at the bottom of the slide. Which, I mean, that's not great. Liked the sliding down part, didn't like the impact on hard ground part. But that wouldn't deter me. And I wouldn't turn off the slide once it was already wet. No. I would just let it keep running. And soon we'd have a muddy, soupy mess at the base of the slide. And I would continue sliding down into it. And the muddier it got, the more I seemed to enjoy it, which is funny because I normally can't stand having dirt on me, with the exception of, like, this one specific scenario, in which case, like, the muddier and dirtier, the better. Like, I wasn't that kid who was out there making mud pies. No. But give me a mud pit at the end of the slide, and apparently I was a happy fucking camper. My mom was not so thrilled, for obvious reason, because I would do this, and I would have mud pretty much from my butt down, and usually on my hands, and anywhere I touched with my hands, like, just a muddy frickin' mess. But while it was still wet, I was happy as a clam, but as soon as it would start to dry and cake on, it would feel like chalk. God, I, like, get goosebumps even just think about it now. Like, I hate that feeling. Hated it then, hated it now. I'm feeling, I need help. I need to get that mud out of me. And I come to the front door, she'd be like, oh, no, you don't. Oh, no, you don't. You get back out there. You did this with the hose. You used the hose to clean it right back up. But, Mom, the hose is cold. Too bad. Clean up. You're not coming in here like that. Not tracking mud through the house. Fine. So I'd go back out there, but rather than, I don't know, clean off, I would just bypass the whole slide, stick the hose in the mud pit, and just let it turn into a mud lake now. And decide, fine, I'm gonna take a mud bath. And it didn't take very many times of doing it this way to where it started making a little concave thing in the dirt to where now it really, every time I did it, started making like a little bird bath of mud every time I did it. Like, oh god. I don't think that spot in the yard ever fully recovered. By the way, I think if I walk down there today, it's still a barren spot amongst the weeds. Like, I mean, no one lives there now, so it's just all weeds instead of grass, but like, I bet you that spot still has nothing. But, I do it time after time, which of course only made the water slide end of this that much more fun now, because now I wasn't just sliding down into the mud, I was splashing into the mud. Oh, happy as a clam, and got to be where, alright, now I'm gonna roll around in it too like a dog, because I can. Because if I'm gonna get in trouble for it anyway, go big or go home. But, God, I don't know how my mom went on to have more kids after me. If I were her, I'm pretty sure I would have stopped at 1. But she went on to have 3 more. So, I don't know. But anyway, the muddier I got, the angrier she got, and the longer I had to stay out there until she'd eventually have to take hold of the hose, and actually do this the right way. Usually to the point where it involved having to strip down and just hose me off the hard way and then drag me wet through the house the hard way. You know, as you do. I mean, we didn't have any neighbors around for miles at that point. None of the land around here was developed. So it's not like anybody could have been looking in and like seeing my little naked butt hanging out. No. This was like literally like heart of the country at that point. So it really didn't matter. I could have run around butt naked. It would not have mattered. But regardless, I did not enjoy being out there butt naked. And the second it got to that point, I hated this. I was like, nope, never doing this again. Till the next day when I would do it again. Yeah. It got to the point where they had to put a lock on the garden hose after a while that I, at that age, couldn't figure out how to unlock. In hindsight, it really wasn't that hard to undo, but, you know, at that time, couldn't figure it out. And that's kind of the whole point. Little kid's not supposed to be able to figure it out. I think I did eventually hit a point where I did figure it out. And that's when they confiscated the hose and were like, nope, you can have water out of a spigot, you can fill a bucket, and that's the most you're gonna get out of it. Because they knew darn well my weak-ass little self was not going to haul a bucket across the whole yard that way, because A, I don't think I was strong enough to haul a bucket of water that was half my size across the yard. And if I tried, I would have no doubt spilt most, if not all of it, all over the grass, and got nowhere with this. So it was a pretty good plan, honestly, in hindsight. But yeah, the second that they put the hose back on, you know me. You know I couldn't resist. You know I had to make the mud pit again, but I thought I'd be more sneaky about it this time. I'm not going to slide down into it. No. I'm just going to make the mud pit at the bottom of the slide. I'm just going to put my feet in it. Just going to walk around in it. Squish it between my toes. Like, I don't know. Like, that's the bizarre thing that to this day, it's like, I remember the feeling of it being wet and loving that feeling. But the second it got to the tiniest bit dry, oh hell no, get it off of me, I hate this. Like, there's no in between, it goes from 0 to 100, like that, like, I'm sure this has to do with my autism, but just my sensory processing issues, I'm sure that has a lot to do with it, but while it was wet, it was great, so I'd keep the hose right there, and the second it would start even getting kind of dryish in the little mud pit, hose that peg down, get it wet. Eventually my mom get curious, what are you doing out there with the hose? Nothing. You're not sliding into the mud again, are you? Nope, not me. Nope, not even touching the slide. How come you're standing right next to it? I promise I'm not sliding down the slide or even doing anything with the slide. Okay. Just go back in, watch her soap operas. I'd go back to squishing my toes in the mud, and I mean, eventually it would get boring, and be like, oh, and now I'm just stuck with this, like, caked up to my ankles. Oh, I'm not even sure that the hose is going to be enough to get all of this off. I'm going to be in trouble when I go in the house because it's on the bottom of my pant legs. Because, I mean, yeah, sure, I could just hose them down, like, really, really well. But the bottom of the pant legs are still going to be wet. It's going to be telltale that somebody's been playing with the hose again. If somebody's been playing with the hose again, guess what they were doing with the hose? Yeah, they had to put the lock back on the hose again. For like 3 years. And by then I was over it. But this was like an ongoing saga of the mud pit for the longest damn time. Yeah. To this day, even though I'm a grown-ass adult, my dad gets suspicious if he sees me anywhere near a garden hose. I'm like, dude, I am long past that. I'm not going to make a mud pit. What is your issue? He's like, I don't know how you might. I'm like, pretty sure I'm not. He's like, you might. Oh, God. Yeah, like I said, I don't even know what the hell reminded me of it, but something reminded me of it. So here I am telling it to you because it's Thursday. So perfect day for that. But yeah, that's all. So, anyway. That's it for that one. You can laugh at my stupidness. So anyway, you know what to do. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a like. If you're not already and you'd like to be, click subscribe. Hit that notification bell icon so you never miss an upload. Leave comments down below. Did any of you guys do stuff like this when you were little? I can't be the only one, right? Like, I am positive of it. Leave comments about that or about anything down below. Make sure you're following my social media accounts, my Facebook fan page, my Twitter, my Instagram, my eBay, my Reddits, everything and more. It's all down below. And if you like what I do here on this channel and you'd like to help support it, the donation link, as always, is down in the description. Anyway, guys, till next time, see ya.